Hey, what's up, good people, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Alex. I go by the Corporate Finesser, and I talk about what it's like working in your 9 to 5, all while starting your business if you're a new business owner, pandemic edition, plus sprinkling some lifestyle content in between. So y'all, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to add your design from your Silhouette Studio into a t-shirt mock-up on Placeit. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my laptop and show you guys that whole process. So we are in the Silhouette Studio. As you can see here, I brought up my Silhouette Studio screen. And just for the record, I'm using the basic edition, and you can achieve this with the basic edition or higher. So you don't really need all the other fancy bells and whistles in your Silhouette Studio. So as you can see here, I have my design that I'm ready to add to my mock-up t-shirt. And so right here, I've gone ahead and grouped it together. I like how it's placed. I like how it looks. So, okay, cool, we're good. Now, one thing I want to just point out when it comes to adding the variety of like the different colored text on your t-shirt, one thing that I would recommend here is that you start off with black and making sure that your fill color is black. So I have my fill color as black right here and my outline as black as well. This is going to really help capture the entire design, or if it's typography like you guys see here, the words, it's going to just show up really well. So you just want to make sure your outline is the same color as your fill color. So I have my design. I like it. And so now I'm ready to export it and change it into a PNG file. So one thing that you want to know for making your design convert to a PNG file, you have to go through a few little steps here that I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to go to Print. So you guys see how it's it cut me off, and it cut off my design. When you are about to export your design, you want to shrink it. So I'm going to go back and shrink this because the Y and the part of the G is cut off. And that's just because the system is going to recognize that you're ready to print it, quote unquote, when actually you're just about to export it. So that way you still need to kind of like minimize your design so that way it fits on paper. And don't worry about having to make it smaller because you can make it really big or as big as you need to on your actual t-shirt mock-up. So I think this looks pretty good. Let me try it again. And so I'm using a Mac, so just a short key. I can go ahead and press Command P for print. And okay, perfect. So now my design is definitely within the parameters of the page margins. And so now I can go ahead and proceed. So within this screen here, you're going to go ahead and select print. And now another screen pops up like this one. This part does not even matter, you guys. So just keep that in mind. You don't really have to worry about the actual printer settings right now because we aren't physically going to print this out. But if you focus down here in the bottom left hand corner where it says PDF, you're going to click that drop down and you're now going to change your design into a PDF version to export it, and then from there create it as a PNG file. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that process. So I'm going to go to my second option, Save as PDF. And so now my computer is now going to ask me, name this design that you want to have as a PDF. I said, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and just say, Pray Black. And I just keep it that simple. I'm going to hit Save. Okay, so my design has saved. I'm going to go ahead and go into my files here. And as you guys can see in my downloads, here is that Black Pray PDF template we just saved from my Silhouette Studio. I'm going to go ahead and open that. And so now this is how it looks, just as a PDF version. But now I really want to make it into a PNG file so that way it can transfer to my t-shirt mock-up just fine. So you're going to go ahead and click File, and you're going to go down to the few options down here that says Export, Export as PDF, and Share. You're going to just use the first export option. And so now this is where you can rename it if you'd like, just to keep track of your types of designs, whether they're PDF or PNG. And so what I typically do is just put a dash and I'll just add PNG, keep my keep my location in download. That's fine for me. And so for my format, you see how it says PNG? I want to keep it that way. But as far as the other options, if you wanted to convert it to any one of these options that you guys see here, you're more than welcome to. But PNG is going to be your best bet for this tutorial and making sure your design is going to be displayed well on your t-shirts. So I'm going to keep PNG selected. Now down here for the resolution, where it says pixels and inches, you want to heighten this to about 300. And just the reason why is that the PNG file needs to be big enough when converting. And so just doing my research, I found out that the resolution of 300 makes everything just look really good. So just a tip to you guys, when you're in this part, don't forget to change your resolution to 300. I'm going to hit save. Nothing really fancy happens, but it just saves on the back end. So I'm going to close this here. And now you guys see I have my second design. It went from a PDF file to now a PNG file. So now it's time to make this onto a shirt. And let's go to the next step by using Canva. I have Canva open. I'm going to go ahead and open up my Uploads tab, because now what I'm about to do is I have to remove the background, so that way when it's time to transfer the design on the mock-up, the background is transparent. So let me show you guys how I'm going to do that. And actually, I'm going to start with my white canvas because I have black text. So I'm going to go over here to Uploads, and I'm going to go ahead and find my design that I just converted from a PDF file to a PNG file. I'm going to go ahead and select my design and just drag it over to Canva. Awesome. So here's my design. I'm just going to click on that, and now it transfers over here into my actual canvas. It looks good, but one thing that you guys cannot tell is that this actually has a border around it. So although you can't see it because it's white and it blends in, if I change this to a different color, well, now you see that although it's a PNG file, and yes, you just uploaded it to Canva, well, you still have a few more things to do just to make sure that it's going to be applicable for your mock-up shirt. So what I'm going to do is just drag this up in the corner, and I'm going to click on Effects. And I'm going to choose Background Remover. Now, another thing I wanted to point out is that I actually have the Canva Pro membership, which I believe it's about $13 a month. So just a heads up, if you guys are wondering how I'm going to be able to remove this background, it's just because I have the Canva Pro membership. And so that's how I'm going to be able to achieve this design today. So I'm going to select Background Remover. And while that's going ahead and doing its thing, now you guys can see that it took away that white piece of paper in the background, and it gave me the design that I just wanted, which were the words. And I can expand that, make it as big or as small as I want to, and have no issues. Real quick, I wanted to show you guys, just for more of a free version, you can also go up here, I have it open for you guys, to Background Remover, or what is it, remove.bg. And it's just like a free site where you can upload an image to remove that background, and you guys could do that here as well. So I just wanted to show you that you don't have to use Canva Pro, but if you do have it, if you don't mind paying for it, then it is a helpful tool. However, this Remove BG should be super helpful, does the same things for you as well. So let me go back to Canva. All right, so I removed my background. I like how everything is looking. Now I'm going to save it. And so this is going to be kind of like almost the final process before we add it to a t-shirt. I'm going to go to download, and I just want to have page 57. So that's all I'm going to pretty much focus on. I'm going to make sure that my background is transparent, because I don't want this green and the black text, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and have that as a transparent background. I'll probably increase the size just a little bit. That's just for my own preference. I don't want it too small, but like a resolution, I want the resolution to be a little bit more pigmented. So that's why I just increased the size. I'm going to go ahead and go to select pages. and find page 57. And then now I'm going to hit download, and I'm going to allow Canva to download my design as a true PNG file the way that I wanted it to. So it looks like it did that here for me. Let me go ahead and open that. Awesome. So you guys can see how it has my same design as you see over here, kind of like in the middle of the screen. And now we have it here as a background image. All right, cool. So I can go ahead and rename this if I wanted to. I'm just going to say Pray PNG, just so that way it's something I can remember. I'm going to close that out. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to Placeit. So as you guys can see here, I pretty much have a few designs, mock-ups already favorited. But if you haven't heard of Placeit, then I think this is going to be a really helpful tutorial, because Placeit is going to be a place for t-shirt sellers to pretty much create the illusion that they have their designs on an actual person versus just taking a picture of a flat lay. You don't really have a model and things like that. So Placeit is a really good website for this. I am using free Mockup, so you also don't have to pay for any of them if you like the free options, of course. But if you do want to use other options, then I think you do have to go ahead and pay the monthly fee of like, I think $14. But for me, I find the free ones to be very helpful. To have a mock-up and someone in it, you can have different genders, different ethnicities and races, and so you can be really versatile with using Placeit. So I thought that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and go down to the one that I personally wanted to use. And it's just a close-up of a woman wearing a sweatshirt. All right, so the screen has loaded and the mock-up is looking pretty good. But now I want to change the color of the sweatshirt because I don't sell white sweatshirts. And so I just want to make sure I match up with what I sell in my store. So I'm going to go ahead and go to sweatshirt color. And I'm going to try to find a sand color. Now, as you see here, it gives you a bunch of options. So I'm going to go ahead and click up in the second row to find like a sand color and just match it according to what the actual sand shade that I sell. So down here, I have like my little icon where I can drag and figure out what shade is going to look the best for me, just like playing around with it. That doesn't look too off. Let's see. I feel like once I see it, I'll know. Okay, so this is actually the sand shade that I feel matches my own products that I sell. So I'm good with that. And so now I'm going to go ahead and go over here to upload design to insert my image. I'm going to go ahead and upload it from my device because I know it's where I have it. And here is my design. So you see it's the one that I named Pray New PNG. And that's the one that I actually want. So I'm going to go ahead and click open. And now in this window, this is where you kind of have to eyeball it a little bit, kind of play around with the little slider at the bottom to see how big it's going to appear on the sweatshirt. So I think that looks pretty symmetrical. So let me go ahead and see how this is going to look on the shirt. Okay, that's not bad for my first try. You kind of might notice how your letters may look a little slanted or curvy, and that's okay. It's just more so making sure that you play around with that size grid again. So I'm going to go up here to resize, and I can just play around with the slider at the bottom again. Let me try to make it smaller and see what that looks like. Okay, I can still notice like a curve in the shapes going to the A and the Y, but that's all good because typically I think it kind of feels a little bit more realistic, given the way that how this model is positioned and how she's posing. So I don't think that's too off. But if you guys can get the concept of how you go ahead and just resize your option to whatever you need to, and if you don't like it, you have the option to remove it. Or if you want to switch out designs, you just hit replace. So you have a few options here to just diversify what you want to add to your mock-up. And that's about it. So I made the design bigger and I actually like it the way that it appears. So I made it a little bit bigger and now I'm like pretty satisfied with it. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. And because it's a free download, you're going to have the watermarks removed. So don't worry about that in the beginning if you think that the watermarks are going to show, because once you select free download here, go ahead and hit the bigger button of free download. And now when this processes, you're going to see the design without the watermarks, and it's going to look so good. So I went ahead and downloaded that for myself, and I'm going to pull it up so you guys can see what it looks like up close. Awesome. Look at that, you guys. That looks good. That looks really good. Have the sweatshirt color that matches what I have in my inventory, and I have the design that I originally had in my Silhouette Studio. Exported that, made it into a PNG file, removed the background, and now upload it to my mockup. Alright y'all, so that concludes today's tutorial on how to add a design from your Silhouette Studio onto a t-shirt mockup using Placeit. If this content was really helpful for you guys, then I welcome you to join my community of finessers by liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel so you can be notified when I post a new video. So as always, don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and always choose yourself first, and I'll catch y'all in my next one. Peace out.